So, is America in a healthcare crisis today? America's in a healthcare crisis today? Who does not agree with that? Well, the question is, are you in a healthcare crisis today? Well, the key is, I'm going to help share some information with you tonight that will help you avoid being in the healthcare crisis. And not only that, but if you're in it right now, to help you get out of that healthcare crisis. Okay? I'm going to be with you for about a little over an hour. And I assume you guys don't have anywhere to go right now. Okay? You can set aside about an hour or so, and a little bit more. And what are you guys seeing in the healthcare crisis right now? We all agree that there's a healthcare crisis, right? What are some of the things you guys are seeing in a healthcare crisis?
Attorneys on television saying that you call us because you've been exposed to this, you've taken that, you've used this, had this surgically implanted.
Yeah. So as far as you guys hear Beulah, she said as far as lawyers on the TV saying, "Oh, if you had this medication or this surgery, whatever," so lawyers are a lot of lawyers out there trying to make money off of different things. What else are you seeing in the healthcare crisis?
The medical profession in general doesn't seem to really care about what the problem is or curing anything. They just want to treat the symptoms.
You guys hear Kitty? Yeah, as far as treating symptoms, we're going to talk a lot about that. Yeah, treating symptoms. Anything else you guys are seeing? What else is causing this healthcare crisis?
Drug costs going up for no apparent reason.
Drug costs going up. Marcia, drug costs going up for no apparent reason. Well, there's a reason, but the reason's not so good. Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys are seeing?
Too many opioids.
Too many opioids.
Not enough cannabis.
Not enough cannabis. Okay. All right. And the key is this: there is a healthcare crisis going on in the United States, and I'm going to help share some information to help you avoid being in that healthcare crisis. Now, let's think about this a little bit. If you were going down a road and you did not like where that road was taking you, what do?
Stop. Take another road.
You turn around. Right. If you're going down a road and you don't like where that road is taking you, you turn around. Okay? But too many people in America, they don't take stock and take a look at what is going on with their health. How many of you guys, when you were young, you thought about, when I get older, I'm going to be fat, sick, depressed, and nearly dead. That's what I want to do. No, you guys didn't do that, right? But too many people are not taking stock of where their health is taking them, and then all of a sudden, they come to a crisis in their life, whatever healthcare crisis that is, and figure, how did I get here? Well, it was a road you were traveling, that you were unaware that you were traveling down that road. But if I help you to wake up and see where you're going and make some changes tonight that will impact your life for the better and get control of your health, you say that's well worth it? Yeah. Okay, good. Now, if you knew what to do and how to do it in order to improve your health, how many are willing to do that? All right, everybody, yeah. Okay, I'm going to share a lot of things. Now, I'm not going to have time in the time that we have tonight to share everything, okay? But I will share a lot of information in order for you to take action tonight to move forward to improving your health. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to provide an opportunity to you at the end. Now, some of you guys are saying, well, what are you selling? I'm not selling anything. I'm going to give you some information so you can take stock of what's going on with your health and then take action to improve your health. Fair enough? Fair enough? Okay, good. Now, when we talk about this healthcare crisis, my name is Dr. Gregory Fryer. I've been a physician now for over 25 years. I spent over 24 years in the I spent over 24 years in the military. I got out of the military a little over 6 years ago, and I've opened my own practice now for 5 years. But I'm seeing too many people get sicker and sicker. Okay? Do you guys agree more people are getting sicker? Okay? So, what kind of diseases are you seeing out there?
Cancer.
Cancer. Anything over here? You guys not seeing any? What's that? Just cancer? That's all you guys are seeing? Cancer? All right. Diabetes? Anybody besides Kitty?
Blood pressure.
High blood pressure.
Emotional.
Okay, you see, all of these chronic diseases are going rampant. Hormonal, yes. I mean, that's what we're going to talk about a little bit about hormonal things. And the thing is this. In American medical schools, in American medical healthcare, we do a fantastic job when it comes to acute issues. You guys know what acute issues, short-term issues? Okay? Like for instance, you need an appendix taken out, we take the appendix out. Okay? You do great. Or you have, let's say you have a stroke. And when you have a stroke, we have clot busters out there, Jerome. And clot busters fix a stroke, you do great. But too many times, people who have a heart attack or a stroke, the first time, Joe, they'll have it the second time and maybe a third time. Because they have a crisis, and then they go back to that same old lifestyle that got them in the crisis in the first place. All right? And our healthcare system is not helping it. I mean, like I said, we have a great thing when it comes to trauma or acute care. All right? How many of you guys have seen anything on fire, like a house on fire or building on fire? Anybody see that? Okay. What do you call when the house is on fire? Call the fire department. Yes. Call the fire department, and when the fire department comes, they put the fire out, and might get a little smoke damage, might get a little water damage. But then, who do you call to put the house back together? You call the insurance, and they come and make an adjustment. The contractor, they put the house back together. But when it comes to the American health system, we go to the same system that does great with acute care, and we try to apply that same model to chronic conditions. And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Okay? So, we are in this healthcare crisis. I told you about as far as going down the road and figuring out, I don't want to be here, and then changing their mind and making it turning around and going a different way. Okay? Now, I assume you guys are here for more than just information. Am I correct in that assumption? But you need some help. Okay. Does anyone not need any help when it comes to their health care? Okay? All right. So you guys need some help. I'm here to help you make those changes, okay? As far as we've been lied to. We've been lied to. Marcia talked about how medication prices are going up for no apparent reason. Well, there's a reason, okay? Greed, we've been lied to. It's all about money, okay? Kitty mentioned politics. It's not about politics, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care if you're right, left, middle, up, down, sideways. It's about money. All right, you guys have heard of the Affordable Care Act, correct? Who has not heard of the Affordable Care Act? Well, is the Affordable Care Act affordable? No? No? Well, it depends. It depends, Joe. It depends on what side of the fence you're on. If you're on the consumer side, like most of us are on, it's not very affordable. However, if you're over here, Gordon, on the insurance side, it's very affordable. Very affordable. And this is why. Remember that road you're traveling down in life right now? Okay? Your health is getting better or getting worse. Traveling down this road. You guys agree that America is getting sicker? Okay? Well, do you think the insurance companies know this? Yeah, they know that. Any good company worth its salt, they're going to project out. And they don't project out a year or two. They project 25, 50, 100 years down the road. Now, case in point. Most people are walking down their health, their life, looking down at their feet. Not looking at where they're going. Looking down at their feet. And then all of a sudden, they have a crisis. They say, how did I get here? Well, the insurance companies see all these people doing the same thing. And they see America getting sicker and sicker. And so they say, we don't like this, because the more people who are sick and continue to be sicker, that means we have to pay out more money. Okay? And as they pay out more money, that cuts into their profit margin. All right? And I'm all for making profit. That's all okay. We're in America. I'm a capitalist. Okay? However, they lie to us by not revealing the truth of what's really going on. And they get people bickering about right and left and Democrat and Republican and all that stuff, versus focusing on the real issue, which is our health and how do we improve our health. Okay? You guys mentioned diabetes. How many people, or what percent of the population in America have type 2 diabetes right now? Just guess. How many?
Right, most of them.
Most of them? 40? Any other guesses?
20, about 30.
Okay. Dwayne, you say about 30?
About 30. 20.
About 20? Well, would you believe about only 9% of the United States population right now have type 2 diabetes? 9. 9. Less than 10. And 1 out of every 4 Medicare dollars is being spent on type 2 diabetes. And if only 9% have it right now, and a quarter of those dollars are being spent on diabetes, they're projecting in the next 25, 30 years that over 33% of the population will have type 2 diabetes. Do you see the catastrophic amount of money that will have to go into the fund in order for us to take care of all those people? And insurance companies know this, and not only do insurance companies know this, they're trying to get out of it. And how do they get out of it? They raise your premium, they raise your deductible, and they cut what they cover. Have anybody had that happen to them? Their premiums go up over the last year? Their deductible go out over the last year? The out-of-pocket expense go up the last year? Or, let's say you're on a medication and your insurance company sends you a letter and say, hey, we're not going to pay for that anymore. You got to change. All right? They're cutting off. But not only that, did you know, Mike, if you don't mind me asking, what's your age?
44.
44. You look young. That's great. All right. But young people have to now have insurance to cover their colonoscopy. And they won't even need a colonoscopy until they're 45 or 50 years old. But the insurance has to pay for it. They're paying for that every year in their insurance that they don't even need. Okay? So you see what the deal is. We've been lied to when it comes to our health. Now, I went to the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences for medical school. And all the medical schools in the United States, who underwrites the medical schools in the United States? Not really insurance, pharmaceutical companies. Pharmaceutical companies. And what do pharmaceutical companies want to do?
Sell drugs,
They want to sell drugs, sell medications.
double the price of insulin.
More worse yet. And the thing about this is, a lot of young, aspiring Americans go to medical school because they want to help people. That's what I got to help people. I want to help someone. I want to help them get better. But we get indoctrinated that here's a medication. You have this symptom? Here's a medication. You have this symptom? Here's a medication. Okay? So we're not being taught correctly when it comes to our health. And we come out thinking we're helping people, and we're seeing people getting sicker and sicker. Getting more and more medications. All right? Not only that, but the insurance companies. Insurance companies. Let's talk about insurance companies for a little bit. When does your car insurance pay out? When you have an accident. Yes, Bill, when you have an accident. What about when does your life insurance pay out? When you die. So should they call it life insurance or should they call it death insurance? What about health care insurance? When does it pay out?
When you're sick.
When you're sick, exactly, Joe. When you're sick. So we shouldn't call it health insurance. We should call it sick insurance. Because let me tell you a secret. Insurance companies, they don't want you well. and they don't want you dead either. You know why? Because if you're not well and you're not dead, you have to come to them again and again and again. However, if you're well, you don't need them. If you're dead, you don't need them. All right? But they want you to be in that quasi state where you have to come again and again and again. All right? So, insurance companies, they're not on your side when it comes to wellness. They're not on your side when it comes to wellness. Okay? So, look at this. You guys all heard, we talked about Medicare a little bit, right? This is from Medicare. Care that seeks to prevent disease, promote health, and prolong and enhance the quality of life is not considered medically necessary. What does not considered medically necessary mean?
They're not gonna pay for it.
You hear, Kitty? They're not going to pay for it, Gordon. That's what that means. When they say it's not medically necessary, they're not going to pay for it. Now, who decides what's medically necessary or not? Do you and your healthcare provider decide that? Or do the insurance company decide that? But who should decide that?
Healthcare provider.
You and your doctor, your physician, your healthcare provider. Okay? So I'm going to empower you to take control of your health because insurance companies are sure not in it for you. Okay? Now somebody might say, well, I have great insurance. My insurance pays for an annual exam. Well, they only pay for an annual exam so they determine how sick you are so you can get in the cycle. They don't pay for the correct tests to keep you healthy. They pay for tests that will help screen and make sure to see if you're sick or have some kind of disease problem to get you in the system. Okay? Now, after seeing this, who thinks their health is worth investing in? Think their health is worth investing in? Well, yes, your health is worth investing in. So you have to take control of that. And I have too many people that I come across, they're investing, all right. They're investing in their retirement. And I'm not saying it's wrong to invest in your retirement. However, when they get to retirement age, they're too sick to enjoy it. Versus they can, for a fraction of that, invest in their health. Use their own money, invest in their health for a fraction of that, and that way they can have the health they're looking for and enjoy that retirement. Okay? Here's another quote. This is coming from the World Health Organization. 90% of all diseases prevalent today are not treatable with orthodox medical practices. Not treatable. What's orthodox medical practices? What's that?
The common practice.
What's the common practice, or what's the common practice, Jerome?
Give you a pill.
Give you a pill, medication. What else is common medical practice?
Screening you for
Screens, which are secondary prevention. They're screening you because it detects how early they can detect the disease. Okay? And surgery. Okay? But the majority of the problems don't fall in that category. Now, true, if you have a urinary tract infection, hey, here's an antibiotic, take care of it. All right? That's easy. However, if you have high blood pressure, here's a pill. Does that take care of the high blood pressure? No, because what happens when you stop taking the pill? The blood pressure goes back up. And you know what I call it? I call it the name it, blame it, and tame it game. You know what that game is? Dwayne, that game is someone comes in with a symptom. Well, we need a name for that. So they give it a name. You have disease X. And then someone else comes in with the same symptom. They say, you have those symptoms because you have disease X. So we blame the disease on the problem. And then a pharmaceutical comes out, and they have, here, take this medication, and it'll take care of that symptom you're having. We're only putting a Band-Aid on it, taking care of a symptom versus fixing the underlying cause of the problem. All right? Now, remember that road you're heading down in life? Think about the road you're heading down. Are you getting sicker or are you getting more healthy? And if you're getting sicker, how are you going to make this change? And if let's say you're not even sick, how are you going to stay well? Because is health, wellness, is that a lack of disease? Or is that living optimally like you want to live? So we're heading down that road in life now. Okay? Maybe you're even running down the road. Okay? Anybody run or walk and get a rock caught in their shoe? Yeah, that recently, huh? Yeah, does it feel good when that happens? No, it doesn't feel good. It hurts, doesn't it? Now, Gordon, how many people when they get that rock caught in their shoe, how many say, I'm going to go home and get some Tylenol. I'm going to get some Motrin. That's absurd, right? What do you do?
Take the rock out.
Yes, you take the rock out of your shoe, Jerome. You take the rock out of your shoe to take care of the problem. But let me tell you this. How many people, when they have a little bit of acid reflux or GERD, they think, I need some Rolaids or Tums or Prilosec or Nexium or Zantac or any of those other heartburn medications. They don't think, maybe there's something going on in my stomach that needs to be corrected. Because if you abuse and take too many of those, especially the ones like Prilosec and Nexium, you need your acid in your stomach to help you digest properly. And if your acid is reduced, you're not digesting your food properly. And if your food's not digested properly, you're causing some problems like chronic inflammation and other things on down the line in your intestines. So you see how medication is not fixing the underlying problem? But we're conditioned that way. We're conditioned by what? Media. Media tells us what's going on. Media tells. I get patients come to my office sometimes and they'll tell me, hey doc, I need X medication. Really? Why do you need X medication? I need X medication because it'll make me feel better. Okay. You see those commercials? Oh, you take this medication, you feel great, you look great, oh, it's fantastic. All right? But then it says, this medication may cause heart disease, lung disease, death. And they say it really, really fast. And they put it in little words on the bottom of the screen. Okay? All right, all those side effects. So, America's in a healthcare crisis, and we have the wrong or lacking information coming from marketing. Marketing. Have any of you guys seen this contraption before? The Ab Lounge. Ab Lounge. Oh, get the Ab Lounge. And so let's say someone has got a little belly fat here, got a belly fat, and they say, hey, I need to get rid of my belly fat. And this commercial comes on for the Ab Lounge. And they say, that's what I'm going to get. I'm going to get rid of my belly fat. And so what they do, they buy the Ab Lounge, but why do they buy it? Because they have this nice studly guy with his rock hard abs up there beside it, or maybe demonstrating it, or they might have this nice shapely young lady, who's then they're modeling beside it or using it, and they say, I want to look like them. But they get this contraption at home, and they start bending. And what are they bending? They're bending their fat. And how much do they have to bend their fat before their fat goes away? How about never? Because it's not going away. Look at this thing. And they sold tens of thousands of these because of marketing. Because of marketing. All right? And the same thing happens when it comes to our pharmaceuticals on TV. All right? Pharmaceuticals on TV. 40 years ago, you didn't have pharmaceuticals on TV. But now almost every other commercial is a pharmaceutical medication. All right? So, make sure you get the right information. Now, did you guys know that pharmaceutical companies and insurance companies are in cahoots? Yeah. Have you ever been on a medication or something, and maybe your insurance calls and says, or sends you a letter and says, hey, we're not going to cover this medication, we're going to cover this medication. And they make you switch. You've been on this medication for years. And they make you switch. Why do they do that?
Because they got a better deal.
Got a better deal. You got a better deal. Yes, Beulah, they got a better deal with the other pharmaceutical company. That's it. All right? But how about getting out of the rat race so that you don't have to take the medications? And there's ways you can do it, but you have to take initiative and see what's going on in your health and be willing to make a lifestyle change in order to get those benefits. And I'm going to share with you how you can do that. Look at this. That plant. What does this plant need? Water. Gene said water. Sunshine. Joe. What else?
Needing help.
What's that?
It's just needing help.
Need some help. Maybe some TLC. Somebody talk to it.
Fertilizer.
You guys hear Dwayne? Nutrients. Need some nutrients? Okay. Now, did you guys notice something? Not one of you guys mentioned it needs a medication.
If only we had one.
Okay? No, yeah, none of you mentioned that medication. And the thing is, we humans, we have the exact same needs. Okay? We need proper nutrition, real nutrition. We need water, adequate water. Here's a freebie for you, which you probably haven't heard, okay? Gene, water. If you drink adequate water every day, you can decrease your risk for every kind of cancer there is. Drinking adequate water. Adequate, good water. Now, what is adequate, good water? Adequate, good water is half of your body weight in ounces of water daily. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you drink 100 ounces of water a day. Okay? And not only that, if you're postmenopausal, it decreases your risk for breast cancer over 75%. If you're premenopausal, it decreases your breast cancer risk over 30%. Guys, it decreases your risk for prostate cancer over 30%. Both sexes, you have a colon, it decreases your risk of colon cancer over 40%. Drinking adequate water, it decreases your risk of every kind of cancer. Have you guys heard that pushed? Why not? You can't make money on it. They can't make money on it. So they don't tell you those kind of things. But that information is available, but people don't realize it's there. So this plant, we give it some water, we give it some sunlight, we give it some proper fertilizer or nutrients, we give it a little TLC, talk to it, the plant perks up. Nice perky plant. Now, we have this nice plant, but Mike, unbeknownst to you, in the middle of the night, someone comes in and pours motor oil in the pot. What happens to the plant? It dies. Exactly. It goes back like that. So not only do we need to give it what it needs, but we also need to avoid putting in toxins and things that are hazardous to us. So just like our health, we need to give it what it needs, and we need to avoid toxins. All right? So, thing is, we're not being proactive. We're being reactive when it comes to our health versus, once again, looking down the road and seeing what's going on with my health and saying, hey, do I want to end up like that or do I need to make a change? Okay? Not being proactive. How can we be proactive when it comes to our health? Good nutrition, yes. Eat right. What else? Water. Yes, just mentioned water. Knowledge. Jerome mentioned knowledge. Interesting point. But what do we have to do with knowledge before it helps us? We have to understand it, but what else? Implement it. You guys hear Joe? We have to implement the knowledge before it becomes helpful. If you just know it and don't act on it, it does you no good. So, we mentioned nutrition, we mentioned water, we mentioned acting on the knowledge. What else? What about exercise? Exercise, we need exercise. Okay? So sometimes people come to my office and I'll ask them, hey, Mr. Smith, what are you doing for exercise? And Mr. Smith might say, I'm walking. Oh, good, you're walking. How far are you walking? How often are you walking? Well, I walk every day. Well, how far do you walk? I walk a block. Okay, walk a block every day. Okay. And what do you do? Well, I'm walking my dog. Okay. Well, that is activity. Activity is better than no activity, but it's not exercise. Okay? And then sometimes I'll ask someone and I get something like this. Okay? So once again, what do we have to do with the knowledge? We have to implement the knowledge. And you guys are getting a lot of good information and knowledge that you can implement to take a step forward to take control of your health. Take action tonight. All right? Who knows who this gentleman is?
That's Mr. Light.
Yeah, Jack LaLanne. Jack LaLanne. Juicer. Okay? Look at that. Look at those things he's juicing there. Nice, good, wholesome fruit and vegetables. Okay? Whole food. All right? Now, the one thing you might not know about Jack LaLanne, he was a very, very, very important and impactful coach and mentor. Okay? He taught thousands and thousands of people how to be fit before it was even a big thing. Okay? And that's the beauty of it. He taught other people. Have any of you guys ever had a coach or a mentor? You had a coach? Jerome, would you have a coach? The track coach. Why do you have a coach or a mentor? Anybody? To lead you. Yes, Kitty. To lead you and develop your potential. And not only that, they can probably help you avoid some of those pitfalls out there. Okay? And that's the importance of a good coach, mentor, and teacher. Okay? And now, doctors, the Latin word for doctor is teacher. So if your healthcare provider is not teaching you and helping you understand what's going on with you, Gordon, then maybe they're just pushing pills to you. Okay? All right?
Spend 5 minutes with you, so.
All right? Now, look at this. On your left, that's Jack LaLanne in his heyday. Look at that. No steroids. That's all natural, Dwayne. All natural. All right? On the right, that's him. He's in his mid-80s. Look at that. He's still chiseled. So it doesn't matter your age. Your body will respond when you give your body what it needs and you avoid what it does not need. Your body will respond. So it doesn't matter your age. Age has no problem there. 86. Look at that. Chiseled. He died when he was in his mid-90s. Okay? Now the question is this. We're all going to die. Okay? You know, I had somebody comment, oh, I got to die of something, doc. Well, this is the question. You're going to live your life healthy and well and then die? Because we're all going to die. Or are you going to die? Big difference. Big difference. Because too many people are sick. They can't go out and do the things they enjoy doing. They can't enjoy their families because they're too sick to participate in life. So they die before they really die. All right? So, Jack LaLanne, live a full life, vibrant life. Okay? Why do we get the results we do? This is our niche. We get and find the underlying cause of the problem versus just putting a Band-Aid on things. That's how we get the results. That's how our patients do well. Our clients do great in our wellness programs. Okay? All right? This young lady, Miss T. Miss T is a patient of mine. And when she came to see me, she had been having a problem for 6 months. 6 months she was feeling just tired, drained, miserable, just tired. Anybody feel tired? Just don't know why. And she said, you know, doc, all my labs are normal. You know, but you might have to, your labs are normal, but you feel bad. Oh, everything's normal, but you feel bad. Why do I feel so bad if everything's normal? Well, I took a look at her labs, and I said, yes, Miss T, all your labs are normal. But you know what? We're going to repeat some of these labs. Okay? And based on her symptoms, we repeated some of those labs, and lo and behold, her cortisol level was low. It wasn't just a little low, it was low, very low. And like, well, this is what your problem is. You know, she needed medication at that point. We gave her the medication she needed. She perked up, she became her natural spunky self, and she did great. Okay? But the sad part about it is this. They tested her cortisol level 6 months ago, but they only used the test that the insurance company would pay for. So if they would have done the proper test 6 months previously, they could have avoided 6 months. She could have avoided 6 months of misery. Okay? Not doing the proper test, but only doing what the insurance company allow. Okay? Once again, who should be in control of your health? You and your provider. But you ultimately, because your provider is there to help guide you in what's best for you. Okay? So, Miss T, we corrected that. She did great. She's fantastic. I mean, every time she comes in now, she's like thanking me that we found that. And it's like, it wasn't rocket science. We just had to make sure. But it took 6 months down the road for that test to become abnormal. Okay? Now, Allison. Allison was my cousin. You notice I said was my cousin. We were the same age. We practically grew up together. Her and her brother Chris, they would come over to our house in the summertime. We'd play all summer. Me and my brother Andre, we were all about the same age. And Allison was fantastic. She was good in sports. No matter, I mean, you know, think about it. She's hanging out with 3 good boys. Okay? But Allison was the type of girl, Gordon, that if you had any kind of sports team, no matter what sports it was, you pick her first. Because she was that good. She was good. All right? So, time went on. We graduated from high school. And I went off to college. She went off to beauty school to become a beautician. And so we kind of lost track of each other. You know, life kind of lose track of each other. Well, time had gone on, and I had talked to my mom, and my mom says, hey, guess who I talked to recently? I said, who? She said, I talked to Allison recently. I said, great. How's she doing? Well, Allison had gotten married. She was still working in her beauty shop. She was enjoying it. She was doing very well. And I said, fantastic. Well, great. Well, you know, we want to definitely take pictures with Allison, and so we did. And a couple of years went by, and my mom called me and says, hey, Allison was in the hospital recently. I said, well, what happened? She said, Allison had her leg amputated. I said, what? Leg amputated? For what? Well, Allison had type 2 diabetes. And, you know, we didn't really know that. But when her leg was amputated, it was amputated above the knee. Above the knee. And her insurance company didn't pay for a prosthesis. And let's say your insurance company does pay for a prosthesis. Most of the time they're only going to pay 80%. A prosthesis above the knee, you're looking at about anywhere from 50 to 90 grand. And if the insurance pays, let's say it's 50 grand, insurance pays 90% of 80% of that, you know, she's looking at paying 10 grand out of her pocket for a prosthesis. Well, you know, she didn't have the money, and insurance company didn't cover it. So, what position does beauticians work in? Standing up. Standing up. So, not only did it impact what she enjoyed doing, she was unable to do it anymore. And her husband, Gordon, they're used to a 2-income family. Now it's down to 1 income. Put a big hurt on their finances. You know, definitely strained the marriage and other things. You know. Well, time went by, and then my mom called me again and says, hey, Allison died last night. Heart attack. Complication of diabetes. Now, that was several years ago. She was in her early 40s. Early 40s. I mean, what would happen in your family if you died prematurely? Is it making an impact on other people? Yes, it's making an impact on other people. But this is something that could have been avoided. You know, when I was in medical school, they taught me only old fat people get diabetes, type 2 diabetes. Only old fat people get type 2 diabetes. But I'm seeing more and more young people get type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, chronic stress, chronic fatigue, irritable bowel syndrome. I'm like, wow, why are these young people getting all these problems like this? You know, I got the medicine to help people. And more people getting sick and problematic. So it made me think a little bit. Well, I decided, time went on, you know, I need to get my hemoglobin A1C checked. Okay? You guys know your hemoglobin A1C? That measures your average blood sugar over time, over 2 to 3 months. And my doctor says, hey, Greg, you don't need that. Your glucose looks great. I was like, yeah, I know my glucose looks great. My fasting glucose was 89, 88, 89, 90, not bad. And I said, well, no, I want it. Yeah, I just want to see what it is. At the time, he's like, well, your insurance is not going to cover it because it's not indicated. Not indicated? Who's deciding here? Well, I didn't stand for that. I said, I'll pay for it myself. And I'm glad I did. These are my labs. My hemoglobin A1C was 6. 6. That's pre-diabetes. Now here I was promoting health. I was running 2 miles in less than 13 minutes. And I was running distance-wise a lot of miles every week. I wasn't obese. I was in great shape. But what was going on? Why was my hemoglobin A1C so high? Well, one thing was this. I was eating ice cream. I was eating ice cream every night. Every night. Eat ice cream, go to bed. And it wasn't a little bowl of ice cream either. It was a big bowl of ice cream. And Gene, if my wife had bananas, brought home bananas, oh, look out. I'd have like 3 scoops, whipped cream, chocolate syrup, some nuts, and a cherry. But you know what? There's no amount of exercise that will undo a bad diet. I was exercising, I was staying in shape, I wasn't overweight, I was doing great. But you can't undo a bad diet. So, it made me think, what's going on? Did you guys know that in most medical schools, how much nutrition we're taught? 0 to none. Very little nutrition is taught. Because why? We're too busy learning about all those medications. All right? So, it made me think I need to make a change. I didn't wait for any symptoms. I didn't wait till a crisis. I said I need to make a change. I need to turn around and change my direction because I don't definitely want to go that way. So I did. I made a drastic change. All right? And things got better. But a little bit after that lab came out, my wife brought home a documentary called Fed Up. In that documentary, I just got pissed off. It wasn't good. You know why? They lied to me. They told me, once again, old fat people get type 2 diabetes. But when I saw this documentary, the World Health Organization was going to come out with recommendations on how much sugar intake people should take in America, extra sugar. And the food industry lobbied Congress and told Congress, if the World Health Organization published this information, defund them. And that's exactly what happened. They didn't publish information at all. In 1980, we had 0 kids with type 2 diabetes. In 1980, 0. Now we have close to 80,000 kids with type 2 diabetes. And some as young as 7, 8 years old. And I was like, this is wrong. This is wrong. They're covering up things and they're lying to us, and it's wrong. So I made a question, hey, we're going to empower people to get find out what the truth is and help them get empowered to take control of their health and get off some of these stupid medications and get better and live the life, the full life that they're meant to live. So, it was wrong. They were lying to us. Look at this. I maybe go on a quest and on a search. And I came across this article here. Gene, why don't you Read that date out loud for us, please.
March 4th, 2015.
March 4th, 2015, the World Health Organization calls on countries to reduce sugar among adults and children. Almost 40 years too late. And not only that, did you guys hear this come out in the news? No, I didn't either. I had to go searching for this. After I saw the documentary, I had to go search for this. This is the same information they knew back in 1977 that wasn't published. And when it was published, it came out incognito. No fanfare. They don't want no people to know about it. And you still don't really know about it. Because why? They realize that sugar is addictive.
Sugar's money.
Sugar's addictive and it's money. All right, sugar. Think about it. You got some Oreo cookies? Oreo cookies with the white filling in the inside between two chocolate cookies, So, after they came out with Oreos was a big hit. What did they come up with next?
Double stuff.
Double stuff. Yes, Joe. They came out with double stuff.
I'm waiting on triple stuff.
Then they came out with double stuff in chocolate and then triple stuff.
I'm waiting on them anyway.
No, they have triple stuff out there. They have triple stuff. Okay? Because they realized that it was easier for them, Jerome, to have people consume more than to bring in new consumers. It was easier to have the people who are eating it consume more. And sugar is very addictive. As a matter of fact, they put sugar in things that aren't even sweet,
Milk.
just to make you consume more. All right? And, you guys, I was talking about Allison, and you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have diabetes. Well, what causes diabetes in the first place?
Your diet.
Your diet causes diabetes. And more importantly, your body, chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation. And that chronic inflammation and stress on the body, your body starts breaking down. It can't process things correctly. And it also causes things like high blood pressure. It also causes things like, with the diabetes, chronic fatigue, chronic stress, inflammation. And sugar is a very big chronic inflammatory agent. Sugar causes brain fog and some other things. Okay? So, making that change. Why would you even want to be healthy in the first place? Why would you want to get healthy? Well, this is my why. My wife and son. Sometimes you need a big enough why than that. Because, once again, I ask you the question, if you're taken out prematurely, who's been affected by that? And not only that, if you have grandkids, you're not going to be enjoying your grandkids. I don't want to just sit on life watching as a spectator. I want to participate in their lives. Picture's a lot better when I'm in there, and I'm staying to be there for a long, long time. My son's 17. I intend to be there for my grandkids, not just watch them. I like to be out there with them doing all the great, exciting things. And that's going to be a few years down the road after he gets married and a few more years down the road, okay? But I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be healthy, okay? And you can be that way too and be an active participant in your lives and enjoy your lives to the fullest. Okay? Because who depends on you? Our health. If we don't have our health, what do we have? If you don't have your health, what do we have? Nothing. I've seen, when I used to work in the hospital, I saw a lot of people die. Just body breaks down. And none of them ever said they needed more money at that time. They wanted more time. Time is too precious to waste. Stress. What kind of stress is out there? Well, we talked about stress causing chronic inflammation. Physical stress. Physical stress, those are things like trauma, car accidents, things of that nature. Sporting accidents, physical stress, that causes issues. What about chemical stress? What kind of chemical stressors are out there?
Prescriptions?
Prescription medications, yeah, exactly. Yes, Kitty. Prescription medication, that can cause chronic problems. We talked about the proton pump inhibitor medication for reflux. Okay, what other kind of things?
Diet.
Alcohol or diet? Yeah.
Environment.
Yeah. What about this? What about these guys here? What about these guys here?
They're all artificial.
Are they good? All right.
They say that's bad for you now.
They say that's bad for you. It was bad for you when it came out.
Yes, I read an article a few
Okay.
years ago about that.
This one, as far as sucralose, this destroys your gut. Yeah, I saw it.
What did you say about the other one?
Sucralose, it destroys your gut.
Destroys your gut.
Okay? This one, saccharin causes all kind of muscular problems, okay? And tumors, yeah. This one, aspartame, this is the absolute worst. This is a neurotoxin. This turns into formaldehyde in your blood. Do you know what formaldehyde's for? Preservative. Embalming, yes.
You know, jump on your mom.
Exactly, because you're going to die. All right? This is a neurotoxin. People get chronic migraines with this. Don't know why. They get fibromyalgia, Alzheimer's disease. Like, this is a neurotoxin. All right? And they're consuming this stuff. Why? Because the FDA says it's okay. But they're not in it for you. They're in it for the money. So these things, think about it. Why do they have this nice baby blue, pastel pink, and little yellow? Why do they have these colors?
They're attractive.
They're attractive. They're appealing. They're baby colors. They're soft colors. They're wonderful colors. These things should be black with a red skull and crossbones on them. They're pure poison. They're pure poison. So these cause a lot of problems. People don't even equate it. All right? Now, what about emotional stress? Emotional stress, those are things like, as far as, what's that?
Money problems.
Money problems can cause emotional stress. It's things happen outside, usually like relational, at work, or what's that? Expectations or different things. Okay? And the key is this. When it comes to emotional type stresses, I tell people this, and I help them understand. Have you guys ever heard of the prayer of serenity? Yeah, the prayer of serenity. I said, think about it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And they figure out that if the things that are out of their control, then they stop worrying about, and they figure, what can I control? Well, what can you control?
Your reaction.
You can control your reaction and how you respond to things. You can control what else? Your diet. Excellent. You can control your diet. Your sleep. You can control your sleep. You can control what you drink. You can control how much exercise you do. And when people focus on those things that are in their control, their body gets healthier and they can resist a lot of those outside stressors a lot better. Because when you're sick, things seem to hurt a lot more, no matter if it's physical or emotional. All right? So, focus on the things that you can take care of. Look at this. Definition of food. That which is eaten to sustain life, provide energy, promote growth, and repair tissues. Did you know that 1 year from today, every cell in your body right now will be different? Some turn over more fast or faster, like your skin, your gut lining, your hair. Some things turn over more slow, like your nerves or your bones. But in 1 year, every cell in your body will be different. Over 60 trillion cells in your body, different. And if you're giving your body what it does not need or is harmful to it, your body's not going to be able to repair itself naturally. It'll get worse and worse. Versus when you give it what it needs to repair itself correctly, you can live a life, full life, and be chiseled like Jack LaLanne. All right? Now, let's think about McDonald's. McDonald's. Is McDonald's food? All right, kinda. Let's look at this definition. Does it sustain life?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sustains life. Does it provide energy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's calories. It provides energy. Does it promote growth? Oh, it promotes a lot of growth. It promotes a lot of growth. All right? But does it give the proper nutrition so that the tissues are repaired correctly?
With enough tomatoes.
Well, I don't think not enough tomatoes. You put too much more other stuff in there. But the key is, it's not the proper nutrients so that your tissues can repair themselves correctly. And that's make it a food stuff. So too many people are eating food stuff and not real food. Look at these hormones. Hormones on your left, those are your fat-burning hormones, your anti-aging hormones like growth hormones, glucagon, adrenaline, thyroid hormone. The hormones here on your right, those are your fat-storing hormones like insulin, as far as cortisol, estrogen. Are those hormones on your right, are those bad?
Need them.
Yes, you guys hear Marcia? You need them. We need all of those hormones. They need to be in proper balance. When they're out of balance, that's caused a problem. When they're out of balance. All right? So we need those hormones. Look at this. This is my favorite example of the name it, tame it, and blame it game. Okay? Irritable bowel syndrome. All right? We give it a name. Oh, it's irritable bowel syndrome. You got to watch out for anything called syndrome. You got to watch out for. All right? But you see there's 4 things underneath there that can be the actual underlying cause of the problem. For instance, that first one, as far as bacterial overgrowth. We have bacteria in our gut. They help us digest. But if you have too much of certain kind, it can cause problems. The other one, food sensitivity. Now, you guys know what a food allergy is, right? What kind of food allergy? Anybody allergic to anything? Peanuts? Allergic to peanuts? Okay. So you eat peanuts, you break out in hives, or you get asphyxiated, you know, whatever. Okay? I had to say, an allergy is like this. You have this nice, beautiful vase, pristine. You get this brick and smash the vase. That's an allergy. It happens like that. Versus a food sensitivity is like this, kitty. You have this nice, beautiful vase, and instead of hitting it with a brick, Joe, you hit it with these pebbles. And the more you hit it with these pebbles, you're putting little dents and kinks in that vase, not enough to break it, but the more you get exposed to it, the more nicks and kinks get in that vase. And eventually the vase just kind of falls apart. And that's what happens with people's gut when they're exposed to foods that they're sensitive to over and over and over again. And they have problems like reflux or gas or diarrhea or something else like that. Okay? And they don't equate it to the food they're eating. And they take a medication to fix it, and they're not fixing the underlying problem. The other one, dysbiosis. Dysbiosis is when they have the bacteria in the wrong place. So they have the right bacteria, but they're just in the wrong place in the gut. Okay? So a lot of different causes of irritable bowel syndrome. These are our body types when it comes to our hormones. The one on your left, that's our estrogen person. Okay? Too much estrogen. Hippie, okay? Busty. Men, you can get this too if it's out of order. Okay? You can get hippie, you can get busty. Okay? The next one, the adrenaline person. The adrenaline person, this is the person that's been gaining some weight and they're like, we need to lose weight. And so they lose weight all right, but they lose the weight in their arms and in their legs and in their buttocks. All these big muscle groups, arms and legs, but their belly gets bigger. And they lose more arm and legs and buttocks. And their belly gets bigger. And they lose more buttocks. And their belly gets bigger. And eventually their belly looks like their buttocks should be on the other side. And you see people on it, the little skinny arms and the big belly. Okay? All right. So adrenaline. If your adrenal glands are out of order, that's what happens. Okay? The next person, that is our thyroid person. I have a whole different lecture on thyroid. Thyroid causes a lot of issues. Okay? And if it's not properly in place. The last one is liver. Now this person have a belly, but it's not fat. Jerome, that belly's not fat. That belly's fluid because the liver's out of order. What causes liver damage? Okay. Alcohol is the second cause of liver damage. Medication is number one. Medication is number one cause of liver damage. Okay. Now let's look at labs briefly. Okay. Labs. How do we come up with normal? This is how we come up with normal. We get a population. We test them all for a certain lab value. And it takes this nice bell curve, and we say, everybody over here, you're high. Everybody over here, you're low. Everybody in the middle, you're normal. High, low, normal. You guys are all normal. Okay? They don't look at what's optimal, but look at this. This is looking at TSH, your thyroid stimulating hormone. Okay? Thyroid stimulating. Look at this large gap of normal, all the way from 0.3 to 5.7. That's a huge normal. So no wonder you can be feeling bad and your tests are normal. Because it's too much of a gap. But there's a functional range and there's an optimal range. Okay? Now, that's like going in to getting now I'm not advocating this. That's like going to a store and buying a candy bar. And when you look at a box of candy bars there, you pick up a candy bar, and a candy bar costs $1. And you say, oh wow, maybe I'll get some more. And you reach in there, and you get another candy bar, the same exact candy bar, and that same other candy bar costs $20. Like, wait a minute, well, one costs $1, one costs $20. That's just the way they're priced. That's how that range is. That's the equation of that range. All right? So we want to look at what's optimal and what's the best for you versus what's normal. The other thing, top, testosterone. Look at that big wide gap there. Dwayne, where do you want your testosterone level?
That right there?
Yeah, you want it 200 or 800 or somewhere in between?
Let's go in between.
In between? So let's say about 550, 525, okay? You know, I have yet to ask a guy where they want their testosterone level, and the guy says, I want 200. Give me 200. No, they'll never take 200. Okay? But you realize, Gordon, that if your testosterone is 800, you can still have problems with symptoms like low T. Because if your estrogen is out of balance, you can have those same symptoms. But you get your testosterone tested, your testosterone's good. Well, I feel so bad, doc. They didn't get the right test. All right? Bottom, that's my lady Miss T, her cortisol level. Cortisol level, that's the one they got. The morning cortisol level that their insurance would cover. But your cortisol level changes throughout the day. And if they would have got a serial cortisol level, they would have figured out that she fell off the curve. Versus it took 6 months later of misery for that normal test before it picked up the abnormal. Okay? So, getting the right test. Now, do you want a doctor just going to put a Band-Aid on things, or do you want a doctor to kind of fix the underlying cause? Okay? Finding the underlying cause of the problem and helping you get better, that's key. That would be well worth it. All right? But how many of you guys ever tried to lose weight and just couldn't really lose the weight? Yeah. All right? And I'm here to tell you it's not your fault. And the reason it's not your fault because there are some missing pieces. Okay? A lot of times they focus on diet or something like that. But there's missing pieces. There's more than you than that. We help you detox, clean your liver up. Okay? And a detox is not a colon cleanse. A detox is cleaning the liver up. Your liver does a lot of work every day trying to take care of all that poison you put in the body. Okay? So cleaning your liver out. The next one, as far as nutrition. If your liver is clean and you're getting proper nutrition, that helps your body work optimally, getting good nutrition. The next one, as far as fitness. Fitness is a process. You need fitness for your body to work well. Hormones. We just covered a little bit about hormones. If your hormones are not properly balanced, no matter what you do, you're not going to lose the weight. You're not going to get the health you're looking to get. And then finally, you need a mentor or a coach, someone to help you systematically process through things so you understand what's going on and can get the problem corrected. So it's not your fault if you try to do something and you're only getting bits and pieces of it. So if I gave you a manual to fly an airplane, you read that manual cover to cover. I give you a test, you pass the test. How many of you guys feel comfortable getting on an airplane and flying it? No. You need someone to help you fine-tune the knowledge and apply it properly so you fly the airplane safety. Okay? So what we do, we help you put everything together. We look at the whole person, put the whole piece together in a systematic, organized 1, 2, 3 ABC approach, along with a mentor. Now, of those pieces there, which piece do you want me to leave out? Which piece you want me to leave out?
Depends on the person.
Well, none, because if you leave out any piece, Dwayne, you're going to get some benefit, but you're not going to get optimal benefit. You'll get some benefit if you exercise. You'll get some benefit if you eat right. But putting the system together so that you understand and you are empowered to take control of your health. So, you know what you do. I don't go home with any of you guys. I don't live with any of you, do I? No. All right. You know what you do at home. You know what you eat. You know what you don't eat. You know how much exercise you do, how much water you drink. You know if you're getting healthier or sicker. Now, can you predict your health?
Yes.
Yes, we can predict your health because you know what you do. Okay? I'm not going to be able to do it for you. I help you, give you information so that you can apply the information so that you can get healthier. But it's in your hands when you get the information, you got to apply it. All right? Yes, we can. How do we do this? We order the correct test versus just tests the insurance companies cover. We find the true underlying cause of the problem versus just masking it. We treat the cause and not just the symptoms. And we fix the dysfunction, what's out of order, versus just the lab number or the blood pressure number. And we do that, we address your whole body as a whole. Because there's a lot of parts and pieces to your body. And if you're only looking at one part and not equating it to the rest of the part, how many people know someone that the heart doctor was doing all this stuff to their heart and all of a sudden their kidneys fall off because the medication they were taking to fix the heart destroyed the kidney? Okay? Treat the body as a whole. And we do that with a systematic 1, 2, 3 ABC approach. And we also do that with mentoring and coaching so that you get an understanding on how to improve your health. Okay? I shared a lot of great information with you tonight. Okay? So can you guys give me like a few more minutes to wrap this up? A few more minutes? Okay? All right. Like I said, I'm not going to leave you hanging. How many of you guys learned some things that you didn't know? Anybody not learn anything? Okay? All right. So, as far as tell me, and I may remember, show me, and I will remember, involve me, and I will understand. Because what do you have to do for knowledge before that knowledge becomes helpful? Implement and apply that knowledge, exactly. And when are you going to do it? You're going to do it tomorrow? Tomorrow? Do it now. Do it today. Implement that, okay? Don't end up like this guy. All right? Yeah. All right? Because when it's something that you're supposed to do today and you put it off, what's that called? Procrastination. Procrastination. And some people, they procrastinate. And we're not looking for procrastinators. We're looking for people who's looking to make a stand and get better. Shared a lot of great information with you tonight. So, how can you move forward today in order to improve your health? Well, you want investing in your health. How do you do that? Clothes. Do you pay for clothes? Do you spend money on clothes or do you invest in clothes? You spend money on clothes, exactly. Cars. Do you spend money on cars or you invest in cars? Spend money on cars. Now, listen to me. A little piece of paper with some writing on it Do you spend money on a little piece of paper with some writing on it, or do you invest in that little piece of paper? Okay. Well, you invest in the education that that little piece of paper represents. The education is the value. Our system works because we educate the person on what's going on with them. It's an investment in their health, and that's where the power is. Okay? Because how much is your health? What's the worth of your health? You know? All right? It's an investment. It's a matter of choice. Okay? So, what we're going to do, we're going to help you sit down, and we're going to give you a wellness evaluation. When you go to your doctor, how much time do you spend with your doctor? 5 minutes? About 5 minutes? That 5-minute visit with the doctor, how much does it cost?
$185.
$185? Any other costs out there?
Depends on how many tests he does.
Depending on how many tests he does? Okay. The average cost in the United States is about anywhere from $250 to $300 for 5 minutes. Actually, the appointment time is probably about 10 or 15 minutes, but he's only in there for or she are only in there for 5 minutes. Okay? Well, we're going to sit down with you knee to knee for an hour to evaluate your health and where your health is going and where you want your health to go. Okay? So we're going to have a consultation and a talk. We're going to have a wellness evaluation, and we're going to look at a plan of action for you in order to improve your health. How much do you think that's worth to you? Well, typically, I charge $287 for that. Okay? Now, $287, that doesn't cover my hour time. Okay? But that's the price that I chose. But is it fair for me to choose to charge my price for my time? Yeah, it's fair. But because you guys invested in your time tonight, I'm not going to charge that to you. Yours is $87. And I use $87 because there's skin in the game. There's skin in the game to say, hey, I'm committed to my health in order to move forward. Okay? And I lower the barrier so that the barrier's not a big deal, but it's enough skin in the game to say, hey, I'm committed to invest in my health. All right? And if you have a spouse or loved one, that spouse or loved one can join in that with you for another $47. Okay? All right? Shared a lot of good information with you. There's 3 things I want to share with you and ask you right now. 1, does insurance cover it? Does insurance cover your wellness program? No. Insurance is not about you being well. So insurance doesn't cover a wellness program. 2, can I help everybody? No, I can't help everybody. And not only can't help everybody, I won't help everybody. And the reason I won't help everybody because I don't accept everybody. Some people have too many problems, and the problems are too big, but if that's the case, I will direct them to someone who can help them. But some people, quite frankly, they're just not willing to put forth the effort, and I don't waste my time on them. Because if I care about your health more than you care about your health, that's an issue. Okay? So I don't accept everybody. 3, as far as, is it affordable? Yes, it's very affordable. It's very affordable because the majority of our patients in the wellness program are either single parents or fixed income or they're on some kind of budget. So we make it very affordable for them. As long as they're taking steps, we make it affordable for them to take those steps and get well and healthy. Okay? Now, 3 things. You're going to get some information. You'll have an information packet. We ask that you fill that information packet out fully before your appointment. And the reason we ask that is because that's how you get the full value of that appointment. Okay? The more thought process you put into it, the better. Have that paperwork completed. The other, arrive on time. Because if we're setting that time out for you, arrive on time so that you're able to enjoy and get the